Hi, my name's Sue and this is Sue Marie P. I'm an Australian living in Sweden and I love finding out the traditional way of baking. Recently I was invited to a friend's house and she did her she bakes her flatbread in her traditional wood-fired oven 3 times a year, and she invited me to come up for the day and watch her how she makes her Swedish flatbread. So check out what happened. So the fire was already preheated the night before, and then on the day it was just preheated, or it was heated up with the timber. And all the dough was already prepared when I arrived, and there was a huge tray that she just slid on top of the little mini sink or kitchen, which she told me that her grandfather had made. So many of the tools that she used, my friend Monica used, had been made by her grandfather. The first bake of the day was Swedish crisp bread called knäckebröd, and that's the one with all the little holes on top, which are made by a special spiky rolling pin called a kruskävel. And I asked her husband how long he bakes them for, and he said until they're done. So there's no real timing of anything, it was just by sight. And you can see on the side here, the bread is put on its side between a couple of bricks, homemade bricks, to dry out and cool down. The next thing that was rolled out, the Swedish flatbread. It's a really sticky dough, and my first 2 attempts, they got stuck to the board, so you need lots of flour. And there's all these little holes put on top, which is done by this homemade multi-prong tool. And then that's slid onto this baking peel, which was also handmade, and put on this fabulous homemade proving rack. I was so impressed by this. And then after they've proved, there was no set amount of time, just till they're ready. More holes are poked on top, and the bread was transferred to this timber peel, which was also homemade. And then the bread is baked in this super hot oven. It looked like it was taking about 3 to 5 minutes to bake. They were just kind of shuffled around and baked until they were golden. Another homemade tool there. After the first batch was baked, we stopped and had fika. So we enjoyed this delicious warm bread with butter and cheese and coffee. And I'm just going to show you the proving rack again. So it was all these little plywood shelves put into, they call it the Christmas tree. After we were finished baking, it was stacked neatly in the cupboard. So it was designed to pack away. Isn't that fabulous? Interrupting our baking were these local sheep who came to stop and eat some apples, and I had to chase them away. And at the end of all the baking, we stopped and ate some homemade pizza, which was also baked in the timber oven. So that's my how to make Swedish bread the traditional way in a wood fire oven. I've also got a video of my way of making it. I'll pop the link up above. I did this last month. Not quite as good as Monica's baking, but it still tasted really good. Let me know if there's any other traditional Swedish baking that you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hej då from Sweden. That's goodbye, by the way.